by the benign grace of Lord Sri Hari, our very beloved Sri Madhavi Saki Sameta Premikvarda Thakurji, and our Sri Padmavati Sameta Sri Aishwarya Srinivasa Perumal, and by the immense grace of our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Maharanyam Sri Muralidhara Swamiji. We were so blessed to be bestowed with this rare fortune of being a part of this Sri Aishwarya Srinivasa Perumal's Vaibhavam. And we named it Vaibhavam because we decided to celebrate his Vaibhava. And that is why, though usually in the evenings we have Divyanama Sankirtana during Utsavs, and we have normal Parapad, that's how it would be. But this time we decided that we would not miss any opportunity to enjoy the glory of Bhagavan as Tirupati Sri Venkateshwara, our Aishwarya Srinivasa Perumal. So every evening we enjoyed not just the Katha, not just the Shravana, but we also did Anukarana of all his leelas. It was like we reiterated what we heard, we saw what we heard, and that is the whole idea of this Utsava, to completely immerse ourselves in the Gunanubhava of our Aishwarya Srinivasa Perumal. And that is what we have been doing. And yesterday we saw how Bhagavan, he revealed himself for our Tondema Chakravarti, and he tells Tondema Chakravarti that you are my best friend in this avatara. Like in the previous avatars, I had few best friends in Sugriva and in Arjuna. In this avatara, you are my best friend. See, when we talk about Ramayana or Bhagavatam, and sometimes even when we listen to this Tirumala Vaibhava, Venkatachala Maharanyam, which is spoken of again in Puranas. See, this is Venkatesha Vaibhavam of Sri Sri Anna, that's what we have based our lectures on. And Venkatesha Vaibhavam itself has been based on Brahmanda Purana. That is the basis for Venkatesha Vaibhavam. So Brahmanda Purana speaks of how Tondema Chakravarti was the best friend of our Perumal. See, whenever we hear all these charitras, and Guru Maharaj would say, if you listen to Bhagavatam and you listen to Prahlada Charitra in that, right? And you see how the child was. All he did was he just kept chanting Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. His father tried innumerable ways to get rid of him. But the child never once prayed to Bhagavan to save him. He never prayed to Bhagavan to save him, but he could not stop chanting Bhagavan Nama. See, that was the whole problem. The whole problem was his father wanted him to stop chanting Bhagavan Nama. He could not stop that. So he could never stop that. Even when he had issues, he kept chanting Narayana Nama. He couldn't do anything else. That's how he was. And Bhagavan himself came. He took it upon himself to protect this child. And he went to great lengths to do that. Is it not? When we listen to this, sometimes we think, oh, this is Puranam. Can a child be like that? For a moment, see, most of us are blessed by our Guru Maharaj's absolute kripa that we all have the Shraddha, we all have faith in what we are listening. Not for a moment do we doubt that, that question doesn't come. I feel I should not even suggest it. That is why Mahatmas insist that we should keep Satsanga. Because one moment you move away from the Sangha, you have people who will be very logical, very intellectual. They may be even ask the cast, they may very genuinely they may have questions. And they would ask these questions because it is very nice to ask, that's all. They really don't want to know the answer. But finally, they may put a seed of doubt into our head. That's why we should go and talk about all this to anybody else. Right? So we are not blessed. But there are people who might at some point think that maybe, Prahlad Charitra happened. That is some other yuga. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't happen. Sometimes you feel they just wrote the good things about everybody. And sometimes they project what they want us to know or follow rather than what to ask. So when everything is there only in Puranas, it's very difficult for us to relate to it. So Swamiji would say, that's why you should remember that it didn't stop there. In Charitra Kala, we had Meera Mata. Is it not? She was completely immersed in Krishna Anubhava and nothing bothered her. Nothing bothered her. Is it not? So it was not just in Purana Kala, but here in Charitra Kala, history, 100-200 years ago, you had a Charitra that people lived to see that. They have, recorded it. We have records of it. So we have her own songs. We tell her Charitra way, not from somebody else's, it was not from a biography. It is almost an autobiography. She herself has given all her life incidents in her Kirtans. There are 100 versions of the same Kirtan, that's a different issue. You know, it's very difficult to find Meera Mata's words. The same song will come in 5 different forms. Because over time, there could have been some interpretation, but if you see, the base theme would be always the same. Similarly, when we talk about Perumal's grace, Perumal coming and doing this leela, like he was the best friend of Arjuna, best friend of Sugriva, Purana Kalam. Tondema Chakravarti, Purana Kalam. Even that is Purana Kalam. But it doesn't stop there. Few hundred years ago, we had a great Mahatma called Hathiram Baba. Even today, if you go to Tirumala, Tirupati, you can see his ashram. Hathiram Baba's ashram is there. And our Hathiram Baba, he was born somewhere in North India. He visited Tirumala. He just wanted to have darshan of our Srinivasa Perumal. And he came there and he fell in love with Perumal. He had just one darshan. He could not go back. So he decided to stay on Tirumala. He built an ashram there and he just resided there. And he had such love for Bhagavan that obviously Bhagavan would reciprocate. So Bhagavan chose him to be the friend. Now, because Bhagavan, Srinivasa Perumal is a very Maryada Murti. See, in the beginning itself we told, in the past few days we have been listening. We said how all the Advas would have different bhavas with all the Divyadesa Perumals. They would have a bhava of Vatsalya bhava or Nayaka Nayaki bhava. But when they all come to Perumal, they have only Sharanagati. Nothing else. That's how he is. Though we say that he is the leela priya. He always needs some friends. He always wants to play with somebody. So Hathiram Baba was a friend of our Srinivasa Perumal. And Srinivasa Perumal used to play dice with him every day, it seems. And it so happened that one day when they were playing dice, Chumana they won't play. There will be times when Baba would say, let us have a bet. And Hathiram Baba had nothing, but Perumal had everything. He had all the bhushanas and all, and Bhagavan, how many ever years he plays, how he might be Bhagavan, he might be Sarvagya, but he'll always lose to his devotees. He's Ajita, but he'll always be Jita when it comes to his devotees. So one day he had a bet like that when they were playing dice and Bhagavan lost. So the bet was about, he had placed this very costly necklace. And he gave it to Hathiram Baba. Hathiram Baba said, it's okay, it's looking beautiful only on you. You have it. Perumal said, no, it's okay, you have it. And Bhagavan gave it to him. But Hathiram Baba thought we should know, tomorrow when he comes, we should give it back to him. What am I going to do with this? I have the greatest treasure of all. He is coming every night and playing with me. What will I do with this necklace? It is totally useless for me. So I thought, okay, Perumal gave it, let me keep it now and I will give it tomorrow back to him. But by the time, see, this Perumal, he will do all this leela. He will go to Janabai's house, he will give all his dress, and he will do everything, he will go and then Janabai will be punished for it. Suddenly he will become Archavatara. Then he comes and he plays in the night, he will be all Krishna. When he is in summer, he is suddenly he will change. But here also, he had given this necklace and he went to him. Next day morning, the Prabodhana, necklace is missing. So everybody came in search and very easy to find her. Why would Hathiram Baba hide it or save it? See, like our Kuratalwar, when you look at Raka Baka in Pandharpur, they saw a diamond nose ring of Rukmini Devi. She had put it on the way to test them. And very casually Baka, when she saw it, immediately she started hiding it. She was burying it with sand. And Raka noticed it, he looked around and said, what are you doing? She said, nothing. He said, no, you tell me. She said, no, there was a nose ring, gold and diamond in it. So I thought, why should it be there? I just buried it. Yeah, I saw that. My question is, why are you burying stone with mud? No, it is only a stone, no? Diamond is only a stone, no? Why do you have to? How does that value? That's how they value it. So for Hathiram Baba, he would not think of, we should preserve this, we should keep it inside, we should be safeguarded. He had no such thought. It was just hanging around like that. They came very easily, they found him and they arrested him. The king arrested him. He was thrown in jail. And then, he asked. Initially, of course, there was a bit of inquiry and they asked, how did this come to you? He said, no, I didn't steal and all. Perumal came to play with me yesterday night. He lost it to me, he gave it. They also laughed. How will they even believe this? How will Perumal come and play with you? There's a limit to how much you can. So it is not at all believable. He said, what can I do? This is what happened. I can only tell you what happened. If you don't believe, it is up to you. So they threw him in jail. He was in the jail. And the king said, if it is Perumal, if you are such a great sadhu, if you are a Mahatma, I don't know what got into his head. He filled that room of jail with sugarcane. And he said, if you have really some divinity with you, some grace like that, you have to eat these sugar canes, an entire room full of sugar cane before dawn. Before next morning I'll come and I'll see and nothing should be there. Hathiram Baba was not used to eating sugar cane and all. He didn't even understand why he was doing this. He didn't bother about it. He was very Mahatmas are, jail, everything is same for them. So it doesn't make a difference. So he was happily, he just slept off. He didn't bother about the sugar canes at all. In his dream, he saw one elephant come and eat everything. It was in his dream. When he woke up, nothing was there. No sugar cane was there. So he knew that Perumal had come like that and he left. But the king came, nothing. Imagine the shock the king would have had. He thought, the Bata Ulliya, the Sadhu Mari. How did he eat one room full of sugar cane? How did this even happen? And they asked, how did it? And Hathiram Baba said, I didn't do anything. My elephant came and he ate everything. And the king asked the guards, did you see? He said, how can an elephant come inside? We have not built a cell in such a way the elephant can get in. Maharaja, how are you even asking this? Only then they realized Perumal came in the form of an elephant and he ate everything to save his devotee. He does that, is it not? So when we say Tondema Chakravarti was Bhagavan's friend, it is not like, kada. It is not a story, it is true. And even today, Bhagavan must be having so many such friends with whom he would be playing. Just because we are not one of them. We can't say Chichi in the Padamudiko. That's not right, is it not? Even today, he was not talking just with Tondema Chakravarti. Bhagavan reveals his presence to so many Mahatmas even now. There was a great sadhu whose avatara happened in the most holy kshetra of Tiruvahindrapuram, near Kadalu, near our Bhagavan Guru Maharaj Janmasthan. His name was Vasudeva Parabrahma. We all call him very fondly as Vasudeva Thatha. Our Guru Maharaj would talk so much about our Vasudeva Thatha. We call him only as Thatha, always. When he was a mere child, when he was 5 years old, Vasudeva Parabrahma, when he was 5 years old, he saw a death. Someone was dead and 4 people were carrying the body. And he was, you have to imagine this, he was only 5 years old, and when he saw that, he had a question as to what happened to that person. And when he heard that he is dead and he won't come back, he started thinking. He said, so finally everyone dies. And he could not stop that thought there, it went on, and he started analyzing as to why we are born in the first place, and why is someone born, why is someone dying, where does it all end, where does it all begin, and who created this world, why, and then he remembered that in Tiruvahindrapuram or Devananda Perumal is there, and everyone is telling that he is the one who is Valakanayakan, he is the one who is, created this universe, so I should know him. I don't see him as that Bhagavan. I see him only as a Daksha Murti. I should see him. Before I die, I should see him. It was 5-year-old child thinking like this. Because he was an Avatara Purusha. He was a Mahatma. He came here for a purpose. And when he had this thought, he didn't know. See, he knew that he had to see Perumal. He didn't know how. And one day he went to a katha like this, still a 5-year-old child. And first day it was Bhagavatam. So first day he heard Dhruvatharitharam. He heard how a 5-year-old child had darshan of Bhagavan. Next day he heard Prahaladcharitra. So he became very confident. He said, okay, I am also 5 years old. I can see Bhagavan certainly. If Bhagavan revealed himself to all these kids, why is he not revealing himself to me? So he thought, I will somehow make Bhagavan turn and look at me. So one day when there was this procession of Devananda Perumal, he stood out, he was also on the streets. And when Perumal was going, he removed this child, he removed his golden ring. from his finger, and he threw it at Perumal to get his attention. Imagine their parents, for he just threw it in the crowd. He thought, if I do that, Perumal will turn and look at me. When that didn't happen, he started crying. He was wailing. Nobody could console him. Nobody could understand why he was crying. He was not telling it. And the whole chapter here, not once does this child tell anyone what he's actually thinking. He would always give some other reason. He'll say, he'll say something. He won't tell that, I want Perumal to look at me. That's why the Namadwaar, even if we do a simplest thing, we have to tell that to everybody. We have to tell that. But we are true seekers will be like that. They won't want anyone to know what they are thinking, what they are doing. They will never want to reveal it to anybody. That's how they will be now. The child, he was crying like that. When he was 12 years old, he left his house. He didn't want to go to school, he didn't want to study at all. He left his home, he went to Sri Rangam. And believe it or not, that child, when he got down in the Tiruchi station to go to Sri Rangam, the first thought he had was, he actually thought the whole journey, he had been thinking that just like Perumal sent a welcoming team for Tirupanagar, there will be a welcoming team for me. He would have sent some Bhagavatas to welcome me. He was so confident that, I am coming, so Bhagavan would do that. When he got down, nobody was there. 12-year-old child, and he felt very bad. He thought, I came with such, eagerness. Why did not Bhagavan send anybody for me? And then he went to Perumal, to the temple. Peri Perumal he saw only him as Archavatara. That's all. He rolled on the ground, started crying. He said, I came all along this way because I thought Devan Perumal is not showing himself to me. At least you would show yourself to me. No, you're also showing your Archavatara form only. I want to go beyond this. I want to see you for who you are. And he spent many days, his parents were very worried. Finally, some relative found him here and he was brought back to his house. He went to school and then he got married. He got a job, he got married. He led a very, but it was not a normal life. Externally, he had all this. And later, when he was working, one day, he decided to go to Tirumala. He said, let me go to Tirupati, or to see Bhagavan. But he decided that today, I will get the answer of whether Bhagavan exists or not. I need an answer for that. I have been crying for 5 years. Right from my 30 Vaisipo, he is now 30 years old. For 25 years, I have been crying. I haven't had darshan of Bhagavan. Is he there or not? I want to have a proof now. He decided. He went up this Tirumala Mala. He went up there and when he reached the Kali Gopuram, what he decided, he said, I won't go up to see Bhagavan. He went inside a forest nearby. See, those are the days when, as usual, it was not like now. People were not, going to Tirumala that commonly, and it was not well arranged, well organized, or transports were not there. So it was a very difficult endeavor at that time. So he went into this forest, he found a mandapam there, he sat there, he threw away all his dress, he just had on kaupina, and he sat there because no communication, nothing. He just sat there waiting for Bhagavan. He kept saying only one thing, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. You have given your word that your Bhakta you will not let down your Bhakta any time. This is a chance for you to prove. Nobody knows I am here. And I am not going to go out of this place till you somehow show me you exist. He sat there and he was there till the evening, late evening, and it was nightfall already, and no sign from anywhere. He didn't get up. It's very easy to say, he was there in that hill, and those days, so many wild animals in that forest, he was not bothered about it. There were a few of them who did see him there. They lay down, and they said, please come down, it's going to become late. It will be very difficult later. He refused, he never opened his mouth, he never answered to any of them. He kept silent, and nobody dared to be with him, they all left. No one else knew he was there, he was just sitting there, saying the same thing, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. And there was one devotee who had a very severe stomachache. And as a cure for that, he had prayed that he would go to Tirumala 45 days. 45 days he would climb up the hill, have darshan of Perumal. And that day he had already done that and he had gone down and he was sleeping. Perumal came in his dreams. And he said, he showed this place exactly the mandapam from Kali Gopuram route map. he gave the route map of this place and he showed him our Tata and he said, there's a Siddha Purusha sitting there. You go and bring him downstairs to your house. Bring him down the hill. When he saw this dream, he first thought it's just that he woke up. He thought, oh, Perumal Vandar. Generally, we think when we see Perumal, we just think it's a divine thing. We don't take it seriously now. We don't act upon it always. So he just thought it's Bhagwan's divine blessing for me because he has been doing this prarthana. So he just lied down again. He got the same dream again. Again he ignored it. Third time it came again. He could not ignore it. Third time Perumal was very angry. He said, are you going to go now or not? So immediately he got up, he took a little lamp in his hand and he walked up to that hill in the late in the night alone because Perumal had given that order. He walked up to Kali Gopuram, he searched through the forest, he found Tata. And he asked him, Tata, who are you? He said, who are you? How did you know that I am here? Why are you here? He said, please come down. He said, I won't come down, you tell me how you found me here. He said, Perumal came in my dream and he told me that there is a Siddha Purusha sitting there, bring him down. Tata said, I am not Siddha Purusha. I am a very normal human being. But internally he thought, Perumal has proved that he is there. For a moment he doubted. For a moment he had a question. He thought, why did he not come in my dream? Why did he have to go in his dream? Then he had his own answer. Because I didn't ask Perumal to reveal himself to me. I only asked him to show me if he exists. That he did. Later, of course, Vasudeva Tapasvi, he had Bhagavad Darshana, but he didn't stop there. He kept doing tapas. Every time Bhagavan would come, he would say, no, I have seen you. I know you are there. Right? See, there are people beside me, reveal yourself to them. Bhagavan said, you do tapas, I will reveal myself to you. He said, no, Tata would say, no, see, they don't know you are there. That's why they are like this. All you have to do is show yourself to them, they will not come. Please do that. Bhagavan would say, I cannot do that. In Kali Yuga, if you do tapas, I reveal myself only to you, not to others. But he never stopped. He kept doing it. We have this beautiful line. Ulagamariya cheive, ena sabadam seidare, ava sabadam iraive, kirtana paadive, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ulagamariya cheive, ena sabadam seidare. Who was that? Vasudeva Thatha only. In that song, it was his Vasudeva Thatha who vowed that Nee Krishna, nee ellarku na kaata vikana odamaate. I'll keep doing tapas till you reveal yourself to everybody in this world. I want every jiva to see you, to have your darshan, to be blessed by you. Appadi or Mahat he was. And he had a very divine experience which he unintentionally he shared it with someone very normal. So he lost that experience. And he didn't know what to do, and Perumal came in his dreams and he told him that you go to Paranur and have darshan of the Mahatma there, he will tell you what to do. And he comes to our Sri Anna and Sri Anna says you will go to Tirumala. Something is waiting for you there. He comes to Tirupati again. There Perumal gives him the divine darshan of Vaikuntha like Namadwaar had. They darshanam. And Unnata Nilayila he was there for a very long time. So Perumal would still talk with us, do the leelas with us, and he would even show Vaikuntham if we are ready. So Thandeman Chakravarti's Charitra is not mere Pauranika Charitra. It's not just in mere Puranas. We have devotees, we have such great Mahatmas who have this experience of having conversation with Bhagavan day in and day out. And imagine how much our Guru Maharaj would have had. Like we said yesterday, our Guru Maharaj, he had the darshan of Varadhastam turning into Abhayahastam, and Bhagavan said, I will take care of you. To what extent? I still remember one day our Guru Maharaj, he suddenly called everyone and he was asking if you know to do Vela Dosa. And not many knew that. And our family is from North Arcot area. So Guruji, Swamiji came and asked me, he said, your Amma would certainly know. Mama in the district then. My mother did not know. But he kept saying, the Vela Dosa, someone should know how to do the Vela Dosa. Perumalukku varshathula oru vaati Srinivasa Perumalukku they do the Vela Dosa. Nevedyam it seems. So somehow our Guru Maharaj wanted to eat that vela dosa that day. He kept asking, you won't believe, by evening someone came from Tirupati with vela dosa. Wow. Perumal Prasadam. Why? Because Perumal said, no, I will take care of you. Vela dosa, very good. Because Guru Maharaj said that when Bhagavan, Perumal gave me the darshan of Abhayastam, and he said that from that day I think Perumal is my Appa. He is only my Appa, he is only Mata Pita Tvamevasi, Guru Bandhus Tvamevach. So I am his child, and Bhagavan takes care of our Guru Maharaj like that, even today. So Srinivasa Perumal Vaibhavam is not limited to Puranas. There is so many devotees. We can keep talking about Annamacharya, there are so many Mahatmas about whom we can say. We sing so many kirtans of all these Mahatmas. Leelas Bhagavan has done. As a matter of fact, in the last, we think Perumal is here in Archavatara Murti, and Tirupati Perumal in any Archavatara Murti, however small or big, is with so much of Sanidhyam. There was one devotee Mami who had this practice of offering Shravana Deepam, Mavalakku poduvalya. It's a tradition in some families. So for Paratasi, she used to offer Mavalakku to her Srinivasa Perumal in her house. So it was a Paratasi Saturday, and she had planned to offer that day, in that month. Once one Sunday she would offer. So she thought she would do it that Saturday, and she had kept everything ready for that. That day, Vasudeva Thatha came to her house. See, obviously she has this beautiful tradition of offering the velakku that day. But for a moment she thought, if I start doing it now, I may not be able to serve Tata properly. See, there's a Mahatma who has come to her house, right? So the priority should be to take care of the Mahatma rather than doing this Mahavelakku. So what she did, she went to Perumal and she said, please excuse me this time. Next Saturday I will do this. This Saturday I can't do because Tata has come here. And she just informed Perumal like that, and she didn't do that. Then Tata had come and they had some satsanga with them. And then obviously he'll offer something, no? So she offered a glass of milk to Vasudeva Thatha. He took it, and every time he drinks or eats anything, he would always offer it mentally to Srinivasa Perumal and only drink. And he was offering it, Perumal was not taking it. So he called this Mami and he said, did you plan to do some Mahavelakku today? He said, yes. Did you do it? No. Because he is not accepting this. If Perumal does not accept this, I won't accept it. She said, Illa, I decided to do next week. So Tata told Perumal, then he accepted it, seems. See, two things. One, Tata could speak like that to Perumal every day. Second, you do something to Perumal as a routine, he expects it. Every day 6 o'clock, if you have the habit of lighting lamp in your house, if you don't come there to light the lamp at that time, Krishna will peek out and say, hey, no varla. Because namale andha rendu vaati velakettum bodha nokku porom. So at least then, he wants to have our darshan. Vritya Didrikshaya. He has now. So he wants to see. At least then. Bhagavan accepts every little thing that we do for him. Nothing goes in vain. Nothing is little for him. As far as he is concerned. That's how he is. So Srinivasa Perumal Vaibhavam is such that all the devotees till today, Bhagavan is still playing with them. And also Tondeman Chakravarti also had this. So he was the best friend of Bhagavan. He was best friend like Arjuna, but he had a little complaint. He was playing and talking and all with Bhagavan like that. But Bhagavan did not give Upadesa to Tondeman Chakravarti as he had given Upadesa to Arjuna. He told Gita, no? Bhagavad Gita, no? He had not told that here. So he felt very bad. He went to Bhagavan and asked, you didn't give me Upadesa at all. So Bhagavan instructed him on Tirashtakshara. Because we don't have much time, I am not going to tell you what the Upadesha was. But he gave the meaning of the Pranava, the each Akshara, what it would do, what Namaha would do, what Narayana would do. We have Vyakhyanams for that. Perumal gave all that Upadesam of Ashtaksharam to our Tondeman Chakravarti. Alvar mentions this when it is interesting. Alvar mentions this when he is singing Raghunath Perumal. He says, Tondaiman, you gave Upadesha to Tondaiman. How is it fair? Tirupati Perumal only gave Upadesha to Tondaiman. How does it happen? In his Vyakhana he says, both are same it seems. Tirupati Perumal and Namadwaar Perumal. Tirupati Perumal is in his office. Okay, that is his Karyalaya. After finishing the work, he gave Upadesha to Tondaiman Chakravarti on Tirumala. After giving Upadesha, like we do lecture, see, I am giving a lecture here, then I go home and sleep. I don't change, no. There is no transformation happening. Similarly, Tirumala Bhagavan gave Upadesha, it seems, then he came and slept in Sri Rangam, it seems. So, our Arvar, he says, that Perumal only know you are. You are the one who gave Upadesha there as Srinivasa. Is it not? So he gave the Upadesha also and was very happy. And he was ruling Tondai Mandalam very grandly. One day when he was in his court, there was a Brahmana couple who came there. Tatragataha kaschana vipravaryaha kurvan svapatnya satirthayatram aniyatam brahmana madarena paprachatasya gamanasya hetum. Immediately Tondaiman Chakravarti invited him, did swagata, offered him adhyam, padhyam, asanam and all. And he said, what brings you here? He said, Shri Krishna Sharma Mamanama Rajan. My name is Krishna Sharma. And this is my wife and this is my child. From Sindhu Nadi Tira, we started a Tirtha Yatra. I want to go to Kashi and all. But halfway through, we started, but she is not able to come. She is feeling very tired. With the child, it's very difficult for us to manage. I don't want to go back to our town. I will be losing time. So I want to leave her somewhere safely. And I think the only place to leave her safely would be in your hands. I have heard much about you, O King. So will you please do that for me? Will you take care of her and my child till we come back? I am sure it will take 1 year, not more than that. I will be back in a year. For that 1 year, can you please take care of her? I will be very grateful to you. You will get half the phala of my Tirtha Yatra. Tondaiman Chakravarti said, I don't want your phala. I am a king. It's my duty to take care of prajas like this. You don't worry, I promise you, I'll take care of the child and your wife. They'll be very well. I'll arrange for everything. You don't worry about it. You happily go for your yatra and enjoy. Be in the bliss of, divine Sangha. And Krishna Sharma was very happy. He felt very relieved. So he said, Raja will take care of you. And he took leave of his wife and child and he went Tirtha Yatra. Tondaiman Chakravarti was very careful. He knew that, he had to take care and he could not trust anybody else further. So he arranged for a separate house and he, stationed them there. And then he provided that family, just of the mother and child, with 1 year worth of all the things needed. Grocery and whatnot. Everything needed so that she does not have to step out of the house. He arranged everything. And still he was not very comfortable. He thought, let us not live like that, let us stay inside. It was a palatial house with garden and all that. So she would have nice outside air, everything would be there and still it will be very protected also. And what he thought, let us not leave it just like that. And he locked the house from outside to secure it. His plan was to send somebody every day to check up on them and check their welfare if everything was fine and all. He did that for first few days, 10 days once he kept doing it. Over time, because of he's a Raja, he's a king, he has so much of karya to do, is it not? So in that, because he was immersed in all those work, he forgot about this family. But he had provided everything for them, so she was also happily having food, taking care of the child. For 1 year it was very comfortable. Unfortunately, that Brahmana who went, Krishna Sharma, he did not come back in 1 year. Obviously, it is not like these days where you plan your ticket for return ticket. You don't do that. You do a yatra walking. You don't know when you will reach a place. You don't know when you can come back. So you think it will be back in 1 year, but the yatra all the obstacles. Finally, it could be later. The king totally forgot about this family. That Krishna Sharma came after 1.5 years. When he entered the court, it was only then that Tondaiman remembered that lady and the child were there. He told Krishna Sharma, they're all fine, you wait here. I'll just go and check and come. And he went to the place, the palace in which he had stationed them. And he opened the door. He was shuddering to open it. And when he opened it, all he saw was Astini tasya archa shishorcha tatra. He saw only the skeletons of that mother and child. Nothing was there. Only a he had promised Krishna Sharma, how much she must have wailed, cried without food. They died starving. They died starving. How Tondeman Chakravarti could not bear the thought. He went running to Bhagavan. He didn't go to Krishna Sharma. He went running to Bhagavan. And he said, how is this? Satyasya dharmasya cha rakshanartham satyatmakam tvam avatirnamatra satyasya satyamrita satyanetram satyasvarupam sharanam prapadye satyam vidhatum nijavrityavakyam stambhevatirnosi kripanidhe tvam nrisimha rupena nihatya daityam divokasamaphi abhayapradosi. Krishna, are you not Satyasvarupa? I gave a word to that Brahmana that I will take care of his family when he is away. I could not keep my word. They suffered and they died. Krishna, how did you let me forget like this? Am I not your child? Why did I give the word? Did I give the word because I thought that I could do it? I gave the word because I thought you could do it, is it not? It is a trust I have in you. All you had to do was remind me once that how tough would it have been? Even today, Krishna, you can do anything. Is it not? You came from a pillar for the sake of a child just to make his words true. Satyam vidhatum nija bhritya bhashitam. That is why you came, is it not? Am I not your devotee? You said I am your best friend. Don't you care for me like that? I told Tondeman that I will take care. No, I'm not able to keep my word. Please, Krishna, do something so I can keep my word. Because I know how you are. You don't mind giving up your word in order to protect the word of your devotee. Is it not? That's what you did. Satyam vidhatum yudhi bhishma vakyam nija pratigyam apahaya chakram dritva kare shantanavam nihantum dadhavitatvam hi gatotariyaha. Did you not forget your uttariya and run taking chakra? Let's say hato bhishma. Just to only reason is so that he can lose his baku. That's all. Just to prove Bhishma right. He did that. So you did that, is it not? Mama vibhaktasya ramabhate tvam satya pratigyam paripahi deva. Please say my word also. He begged. Because Kodikiyalvar says, Valuva Mori. Your bhakta's words will not go waste. It can never go untrue. Is it not? So you please make it true. Immediately Bhagavan said, Janami Krishtam Tava Bhakta Varya. I know it was a mistake. No? Don't worry about it. I know you didn't do this intentionally. You didn't want to, kill them. You forgot in all your work. I know that. Don't worry. There is a tirtha in Tirumala called Asti Kuta Tirtha. You take the Asti, go to the Tirtham, and dip in it chanting Govinda, and both of them will come alive. He said this, he has to take the Asti and go, na? So he went to Krishna Sharma and he told everything. Krishna Sharma was shocked. It was the last thing he expected. He took Krishna Sharma to the place and when he opened the door and showed the Asti, that's all, he just fainted. He cried, he wailed, nothing could console him. But Tondeman Chakravarti held on to him. He said, trust me, Perumal has promised me that they will come alive. He will keep his word. You please come with me. And he consoled him, he took him. They took all the Asti and they went. And Tondeman Chakravarti dipped the Asti in the Asti Kuta Tirtham, chanting Govinda Nama. Instantly both of them came alive. That is the greatness of, that Asti Kuta Tirtham and Perumal's Kripa and Tondeman's Bhakti. Sometimes when you listen to this, Bhagavan could have saved him even before now. But thing is, we would not know the greatness of this Tirtha. We would not know the greatness of Perumal's Kripa. So such leelas are needed. And that is why, even in Mahatma's life, such obstacles, such sufferings come. The Krishna Sharma Kashtapatta Durikata, Tondeman Kebri and you can't imagine what he must have gone through, is it not? Bhagavan put him through that to show the world the greatness of the Tirtha Mahatmya, Kshetra Mahatmya, Perumal Mahatmya, Bhakta Mahatmya. He's showing everything there. That is the greatness. And Ipri oru leela, Bhagavan did. And there is another great Tirtham there called Swami Pushkarini Tirtham. It is the Swami of all the Punya Tirthas. So it's called Swami Pushkarini. He says, Ganga Vikyata Samasta Tirtha Swamiti Ganga Janakasya Vishnoho Sanidhya Matrena Param Pavitram Tat Swami Tirtham Pravadanti Santaha. It is the Swami of even Ganga Yamuna, it seems. There is a greatness of this Tirtha. And in the days of yore, there was a king named Shankana. And Shankana was a sadhu. He was a very sattvic king. And he was a devotee of Bhagavan. But it so happened that his ministers, they tricked him. And in some gambling event like Yudhishthira, he lost his kingdom. To his own ministers. They all tricked him and they thought just because he was such a sadhu, it was easy to do that. And he lost the kingdom and with his family, he was ousted out of the kingdom itself. He was roaming around and finally, he came to Tirumala and he had a hut near our Shankati, our Swami Pushkarini. He stayed there and he decided that this is all Bhagavad Sankalpa. Losing kingdom is also good. From now on, let me turn my life spiritual. So he came there with his family and he did bhajan every day, did Nama Sankirtana. Every day morning he would have a dip in our Swami Pushkarini Tirtha. And this went on for a few months. Suddenly one night Bhagavan came in his dreams. In Swapna. And Bhagavan said, Shankana, you go back to your kingdom. Your kingdom is waiting for you. He said, no, they only ousted me. He said, no, all the ministers there who, tricked you, they all fought among themselves and everyone is dead. There is no king there. The subjects loved only Shankana. And they are waiting for you. Shankana said, but I never asked for the kingdom again. I am very happy doing this. Bhagavan said, you didn't ask, nor did I want to give. But what can I do? You have dipped every day in Swami Pushkarini Tirtha. It is the Swami of all the Tirthas. If you dip in it every day, you will become a Swami. So your Sutta is back to you. It wants to make you a Swami. What can I do about it? So you go back. So when he went back, there the subjects were all hoping and waiting and praying for Shankana to come back. When they saw him, they welcomed him very happily and they coronated him as the king and he ruled. That is the greatness of this Swami Pushkarini Tirtha, says our Tirumala Mahatmya. And Tondaiman Chakravarti lived for a very long time as Bhagavad Bhakta, ruled Tondai Mandalam very beautifully. And finally, he attained Bhagavad Padam. And it was in his parampara that there was a king called Akasha Raja. And it was Akasha Raja was chosen by our Taya as her father. Each of them have a choice. See, Srinivasa Perumal is the only Perumal who perfectly fits the name Srinivasa. You can't give that name to anyone else. He is only Srinivasa. Because like this song the other day, Agalagile Nirayum Entru. She does not move away from Bhagavan at all. But the greatness of Perumal lies in the fact that we say Tiruvukkum Tiruvagiya Deva. Selva. Is it not? Tiruvukkum Tiruvagiya Selva. That's what Tirumangayalvar says about Perumal. He is in Ramayana Sumitra Devi also says Shricha Shrihi. Bhagavan is the Shri of Shri. That is his greatness. And how is our, when we say Shri, that itself means she who should be sought, she is the one who we should seek refuge in. Ashrika Takkavai. That's what Shri itself means. And that's why in Vedas it says, Shruti Vakyam, Tasya Ishano Jagato Vishnu Putni. She has two roles. Right? That's what she does as Anda. Two roles. And now one, she is the mother of this universe. So for all the Jivas, she is the Lord. And she is the Patni, she is the Sheshi for Bhagavan. So when it comes to Bhagavan, she is her Dasa, she is her Dasi. When it comes to Jivas, she is our Ishani. So she has two roles. As a mother, she takes care of us and then she goes there as a wife and recommends for us. She does both these things. That is her role. And Tiru means anything that's beautiful, anything auspicious, anything with splendor. Everything is called Tiru. Right? And Bhagavan has this beautiful names associated with this Shri. In Sahasranama, is it not? Shrida, Shrisha, Srinivasa, Srinidhi, Sri Vibhavana, Sridhara, Shrikara, Shreyaha, Shriman Lokatraya, Shreyaha. Shri, and Anuvadhi people say that 2 times. You know, Perumal, Venumo, Leo, Lakshmi Kataksham, we all want. So much of Shri is there in those 2 slokas. So we keep saying that, na? So she's the auspiciousness, but Bhagavan was such that he did not even want her, it seems. Because, he says, in drama. Everything is drama. In Amrita Mathanam, when Bhagavan was doing all this, he was doing everything for the Amrita to come out and all. And finally, when everybody came out, the eighth object to come out, the 8th person to come out was our Sakshat Tayar. She revealed herself, her avataram happened. And when she came out, immediately Swayamvara. Everyone is hoping that she would garland them. But she's looking everywhere. She feels, oh, such a critic she is. She sees everything. Finally, everybody is hoping. There is one person who is completely oblivious to what's happening. And you finish all that, we'll continue with the Amrita Mathanam after that. And he's sitting in a corner. And Rama Devi saw, oh, this is the person I want. Rama Mukundam Nirapeksham Ipsitam. The one who does not want me is the one who I want. And she garlanded him. Her Guru Maharaj said the secret of it. We all know. And he is the only one who knew that Vendan Mukhanada Varuva. So, that was his intention. So, Venunda Ukandana. Guru Maharaj very beautifully say, after Lakshmi came and the Swayamvara was over, Kalyana was over, Bhagavan lost interest in Amrita Mathanam. He like Kanchuku. No part but it's Amrita. The real Amrita was only her. He got her. The Kapra Vishnu. And immediately Amritam came. Because Bhagavan to finish that, he'll have that. That's how Bhagavan is. Even he shows as a but. Having said this, Tirumangay Alvar says, Tirukkum Tiruvage Chilva. Tirumangay Alvar says, Tiruvilla Tevu Enna Tevu. Bhagavan is nothing without Shri. That's why our Yatiraja, he has given Bhashyam. In Sri Bhashyam, the beginning itself, Brahmani Srinivasa. That's how he starts. What is Parabrahmam? Parabrahmam is Srinivasa. Not Anama Madhupam and all. Yugalamurtina. Yugalamurtina is that Parabrahmam. Then he starts with Srinivasa. Adha Perma. Perumalike Adha Perma. That's what he shows. And Sri Parashara Bhattar goes one step further. He says, Lakshmi Kshira Samudra Raja Tanaya Shriranga Aishwarya Dasi Bhuta Samasta Deva Vanitam Laukaika Deepankuram Shriman Mandakataksha Labdha Vibhava Brahmendra Gangadharam Tvam Trailokya Kutumbini Sarasijam Vande Mukunda Priyam. Here, Shriman Mandakataksha Labdha Vibhava Brahmendra. For even Brahmadi Devas Indra, they became Brahma and Indra only because of the Manda Kataksham of Lakshmi Devi. Right? And then, Bhatta says, not just that, Parabrahmam is Parabrahmam only because of the Kataksham of Lakshmi Devi. How can you say that? Parabrahmam is not a position. It is not a status. It is not a Padavi. It is something that is permanent Swarupam of Brahman. Is it not? How can he say that he is like that only because of Shri? He has proof. No? He has Pramana. In Vedas, there is a Suktam called Purusha Suktam. The most common Ila Puji Sogar, why are you going to Pada Padam? That's Suktam. It's called Purusha Suktam. It's not called Vishnu Suktam. It's not called Narayan. Narayan Suktala is Danya. Idilla. Purusha Suktam, no, there's one thing called Purusha Suktam. No other deity's name is there. In that whole Suktam, no deity's name would come. Vishnu Varadu, Shivan Varadu, Onu Varadu, Putra Varadu, Onu Varadu, Devi Varadu. No name comes there. So it's very easy for everybody to claim it is about our deity. Is it not? So how do we know it is about Vishnu? How do we know that Purusha, Abhinad Vishnu, how do we know? Is it not? There should be something to prove that. He who is the husband of Lakshmi. And people think that we are not feminists. Our Vedas give identity to Perumal, to the Parabrahmam, through the wife. There is, because the moment it says that he who is the husband of Lakshmi, nobody else can say it is them, no? It's only Vishnu. So Bhagavan became that Parabrahman only because he is the husband of Lakshmi, not otherwise. That is the greatness. She always comes. Whenever Bhagavan comes, Anurupa Rupa, Abhina Bhagavan, she is always there. In Ramayana, both of them say, Bhagavan says, Ananyahi Maya Sita Bhaskarena Prabhayata. Sita Devi says, Ananya Raghavena Bhaskarena Prabhayata. She says the same thing. They are inseparable always. And she never moves away from him. Whenever Bhagavan comes, she comes along. When he comes as Nrsimha, she comes as Lakshmi. So Bhagavan becomes Lakshmi Nrsimha. Then Varaha, she makes Bhagavan Lakshmi Varaha. Hayagriva, Lakshmi, Lakshmi Hayagriva. When he comes as Rama Avatara, she comes as Sita Mata. In Krishna Avatara, she comes as Rukmini Mata. Even in Archa Avatara, if he comes as Ranganatha, she comes as Ranganayaki. If he comes as Varadaraja Perumal, she comes as Perindevi Tayar. If he comes as Srinivasa, she comes as Maharanyam Manvel. Padmavati Tayar. She always comes with Bhagavan, and without her, Bhagavan's leela would be totally apurna. She is the one who makes it complete, because she is the one who does the main thing that Bhagavan wants to do, take jivas around. And without her, even Bhagavan can't do that. He needs her. She is the bridge between the jivas and the Paramatma. She is the one who connects us together. So Bhagavan needs her to take us unto his charana, and she is always there for that. So, in Tondaman Chakravarti's parampara itself, Shri Tondamanasya Kule Bijato Govinda Vakto Nijadharma Nishtaha Akasha Rajo Bhuvanam Shashasa Namna Dharanya Sahabhagyayacha. Akasha Raja was the name of the king. He married a very beautiful Rajakumari called Dharani Devi. He was Akasha, she was Dharani. Like Akasha and Bhumi. They were together. And both of them were such great Govinda Bhaktas. They were Vaishnavas and they were leading a beautiful life. And just as in Ramayana, we saw how Janaka Maharaja found Devi, Sita Devi, when he was plowing the Yagya Bhumi, is it not? Similarly, our Akasha Raja also found a little girl from a tatakam on a lotus. She was on a kamara. That's how she was born. And that's why when we talk about her, we say Alarmel Mangai. On the top of a lotus, she was there. Avatarinchenu amma alamelu mangamma. Avatarinchenu amma alamelu mangamma. Avatarinchenu amma alamelu mangamma. Shivasana Kadulu Sumavasha Puritanchi. Shivasana Kadulu Sumavasha Puritanchi. Shri Devi Nujuchi Kalya Sutimbara. Shri Devi Nujuchi Kalya Sutimbara. Avatarinchenu amma alamelu mangamma. Avatarinchenu amma alamelu mangamma. Kartika Shukra Panchami Nodya Kanakara Kamala Madhyamulo Kamalunu Juti Gagana Rajunu Kamini Dharani Ko Santati Chilku Alamelu amma alamelu mangamma. Avatarinchenu amma alamelu mangamma. Alamelu Manga was born on Kartika Shukla Panchami. That was her Avatara Dina. And she was born for our very beautiful Dharani Devi. They took her as their own child and they were bringing her up. And all the Brahmadi Devatas, they all came there and they gave her this divine name of Padmavati because she came from a Padma. So she was named Padmavati. And this was Sakshat Sri Lakshmi Devi. Wherever we see beauty, there is Lakshmi Kataksham there. You know, if you see a little child, a smiling child, you find some joy in us, is it not? We find that joy. That's because Lakshmi Kataksham is there. It's auspiciousness, there's Mangalam there. When you see a Sumangali, you know, with her Kunkumam in the Vagadu, you feel something very nice. You feel, when you're going for something, you see a Sumangali coming, somehow you feel you're very blessed today. You know, because there's Lakshmi Kataksham there. When we see a full moon, the joy, because Lakshmi Kataksham. You know, they're siblings. So the Nila, the moon has a bit of Lakshmi Devi's Kataksham. So that's what comes to us also. If we see a cow, Lakshmi is there. That's why whenever we see a cow, we prostrate and we do namaskara to it. Because Lakshmi is there. When you listen to Veena Gana, the joy it gives. Because Lakshmi Kataksham is there. Lakshmi resides in everything that's beautiful, in all that's splendorous and all. And here, our Padmavati Devi was that Lakshmi herself. She had come down. She was so beautiful. She was very artistic. She had everything. And she was growing up in Akasha Raja's palace as her child. And when she grew up, she attained the age of Vivaham. And you should remember those were the days when the age of Vivaha was very, Sita Mata, Janaka Maharaja was very worried about Sita Mata because she was not getting married. Late are they? 6 years old. Those are the days. So our Padmavati Tayar also had reached the right age for marriage. And Akash Raja was wondering who is going to be that Bhagyavan who would have the fortune of marrying her. So he felt, he was not worried about her, he was worried about that person. Someone should come, let us see. That's what he was thinking, it seems. And those were the days when these kingdoms, they used to have something called a little Udyanavana, Kanyamadam, where all the girls, with the Rajakumari, the princess, with her friends would play there. Our Padmavati Tayar also had a small Udyanavanam like that, near Agastya Tirtham. She used to go there and play. And that's why our Amma, she says, Udyana Vanadalli Udiyadi Navane Udyana Vanadalli Udiyadi Ravale. She used to play in that Udyanavana, it seems. And one day she was there with all her friends. Evam kadachit susaki janaisa chikrina leela haranetya kanya tada ashwamaruhya jagannivaso leelartham atragamadi devaha. Like I have been telling always, our Srinivasa Perumal he wanted to be Aishwarya. But what he will do now and then, he become Vibhavatara and he will come down. He has to stand there and wait for people to come. No, he can't do that. He wants Mele Vidundu Arul Sariyam Srinivasa. So he has to come down and bless always. So So now and then, Perumal would come like a Rajakumara, it seems. As a Vibhava, in a Vibhava Kala, he would become a Rajakumara and Garuda Bhagavan will become his horse and he would come there hunting. In Tirumala we have a lot of forests, so Bhagavan would go hunting often. And one day it so happened that Bhagavan came down like that hunting. Sahi Bhagavan Sakala Surasura Munigana Vidyadhara Gandharva Kinnara Nara Kimpurusha Garuda Sevite Ajagaja Mrigamarkata Vyagra Yakshadi Nana Mrikalam Krite Keki Koka Kaka Gokila Koyeshti Kukkuta Kalahamsa Shubaka Shukabakali Shakunta Samuha Kalita Kola Chandana Devanaru Champaka Champiya Malli Mandara Madhavi Punnagar Tala Nali Kera Parasarasala Bija Purakadi Nana Buruha Samuha Bhushite Manikya Maragada Vaidurya Gomeda Kadi Ratna Prakashite Lalita Sopara Parampara Prakatite Srimate Sheshachale Tadupavanecha Mrigaya Nimittam Sancharan Karadhrita Sharasanaha Padmanayanaha Kutilarakaha Kanakavaranaha Meghashyamalaha Madhura Mruduhasa Komaladaraha Nava Yovana Samudramita Sarvagaha Sri Venkatesha Vaibhavam Bhagavan Venkatesha, he came down from the hill. You know, he was hunting and he was hunting in the hill only. Searching for the hunt, he came around and he came down the hill. He didn't even realize he was in Keel Tirupati already. And in near Agastya Keel Tirupati only, our Padmavati Devi is playing with all her friends. Bhagavan came there and you know, when he was roaming around, he saw this beautiful Udyanavana. He thought, okay, I've come too far from my house anyway. So let me take the horse into Udyanavana. Let's see if there's a Thatha come there. And the horse can rest for some time. I can rest for some time and he can go. And Bhagavan entered. He entered the Udyanavana. And when Bhagavan entered the Udyanavana, our Padmavati Devi and friends, they all were looking at him. They saw Bhagavan coming in. See, Bhagavan, he didn't know that these girls are there. Or maybe he knew. You know, he just came. And when he entered, they were all looking at him, how he is walking. Gambhira Srinivasa, Gambhira Srinivasa, Divya Vinambara Charuvesha, Divya Vinambara Charuvesha, Vishesha Kataksha Prabhava, Vishesha Kataksha Prabhava, Divya Srinivasa, Divya Srinivasa. Perumal was walking, you know, majestically inside, holding on to that Turagam, which is Garuda, like there. You know, Virathasuta Vahana. He never leaves Virathasuta anywhere. He was walking with that horse and he tied the horse onto a tree. He saw the Thatha come and our Padmavati Devi was looking at Bhagavan. And she was looking at him and she called her friends. She said, you know, who is this? The friend said, you know, some man is entering the Udyanavana, you are asking who is this? No, he doesn't look normal, but you see, he is some Rajakumara. No, he is not some Rajakumara. Yagado, Igado, No, go and ask him now. You want to know who he is. Navaman Mathuro, Narayanuno, Navaman Mathuro, Narayanuno, Shiva Brahma Dulagu, Paramaina Devudo, Shiva Brahma Dulagu, Paramaina Devudo, Devadu Ikadu, I think he's Narayana. I think he's our Kuladeva. The friends are Rama. Our Kuladeva will come on a horse to your Udyanavana to drink water. What are you talking, Padmavati? It's very wrong for us to see like this. You come this way. You know, they were trying to move her away from there. She says, no, somehow I feel that this is our Kuladeva only. I can't take my eyes off it. And while they were sitting like this, Bhagavan saw them. Saw this, group of girls. And Bhagavan, Gambhira Srinivasa, always, he walked with all his majesty, he walked towards them because he is coming here, Padmavati said, wait, let us see what. He comes near. And he says, Ito gato va harini jagachid, grihitu kamo anusarami hamtam. I live in Seshachalam. That's my residence. My name is Venkatesha. And I came hunting. I was following a deer. It had eyes very much like yours. And I don't see the deer, I see it in your eyes. Are you hiding it? And Padmavati, she said, this is my Udyanavana. There are no hunting deers here. We have only the pets that we have. These deers are not for hunting. So you please go the way you came. Don't come inside hunting and all, you go. Bhagavan said, no. Why are you, so quick about sending me away? It's okay, there's no deer here. But my dear, you are here. Bhagavan said, who are you? Gandharva Kanya, Sura Kanya Kava, Nagendra Kanya, Dhruva Kanya Kava, Kathvam Saki Bihi, Charasvi Priya Bihi, Kathara Deshe Vada Kanya Ketvam. Who are you? Are you Gandharva Kanya? Are you Deva Kanya? You don't look like a normal human at all, human Kanya at all. Who are you? Why are you roaming around like this in the forest, like, with your friends? Very unsafe. You don't know who will be roaming around hunting. Who will enter the Udyanavana? You don't know, no? So you have to be careful. She said, I am not Gandharva Kanya, Sura Kanya. Naham Saro, Naham, I'm not anybody else. Saroja, Dudita, Dharanya, Akasha Rajasya, Sutasmi Rajan. I came from Dhara. I was born on a Katalam and I was brought up by Dharani Devi and Akasha Raja. I am the Rajakumari here. She declares. Bhagavan said, that's what I know. You mean, she initially said, she didn't say that she came from Kavalam. She only said that her father is Akasha Raja and mother is Dharani. Bhagavan is telling, you mean you have father and mother? He said, yes. No, I feel you're Ayonija. You look so divine. You cannot, it's impossible that you are born to this Akasha Raja, whoever he is. Or this Dharani Devi. I don't think it's possible. He said, that's all fine. So you are a Rajakumari. Why are you roaming here? He said, it is my Udyanavana. And we came here, it was Vasanta Kalam. And we thought we'll all play together. That's why we are here, you please go. We want to play. Bhagavan said, Vasanta Kalam, I also want to play. Let us all play. Padmavati said, do you have Amma Appa? Do you have parents? Is this the way you behave? Is this do you think it's appropriate to come and play with us like this? You please don't, don't play like this, you go. You go away. Bhagavan said, no. What do you mean? Of course I don't have Amma Appa. Why would I be roaming like this? Otherwise, I don't have a mother or father. So, but what are you afraid of? Is this dharma? There's something called kulam, dharma and all that. Don't you know all that? Bhagavan said, I know all that, but I've always said that sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam. That is my philosophy always. That's what I've asked everyone to do. So whatever dharma you do, visrajya sarvam evam cha dharmam kulam cha manam cha pitrubhanavascha mamekavisham sharanam bhajeta dharmastu mat preeti paleka hetuhu. All the dharmas are meant only for haritoshanam. So whatever dharma you are talking about, don't worry about it, it's all for me only. And when he said that I will show you what dharma is, and he took one step forward. They didn't know what his intention was. But the moment Bhagavan took one step towards Padmavati Devi, all the friends, they were all very alert. They were already seeing this conversation going in a very dangerous direction. So they were all very ready. Then this hunter, this Rajakumara, when he just stepped in a bit, immediately they picked a lot of stones and they threw. Hey, what? Run. Shila praharena sakhi janaste vidravaya masu anantam Isham. Bhagavan directed it. He took his horse, he climbed on it, he ran away. The moment Bhagavan left, next second, Padmavati Devi fainted. They did not understand her bhava. That separation, the moment Bhagavan came and he left, she could not bear that separation for a second. She fainted, and these girls didn't understand what it was. Hey, Padmavati, what happened to you? And they got water, they sprinkled it on her, they woke her up. What did that fellow do? We don't know. And they thought something was wrong. They took her back, it's already too late, let's go back home. From that day, Padmavati Devi stopped eating. She could not sleep, she could not eat, she was constantly worried about Bhagavan, about that Rajakumara. She kept looking at him, and she kept thinking about him, and she kept telling, can we go back to Udyanavana? The friend said, never, not again. What if he comes? Padma says, what if he comes? What if he comes again? I want to see. Can we go? I said, are you mad? No. Not going there again. No. She said, I can't forget him at all. The way when he entered, and just before he spoke to me, he gave a smile. Ennathaan Sri Poornimaji, Srinivasa, Ennathaan Sri Poornimaji, Ennai Unmatamakirum, Ennathaan Sri Poornimaji, Ennai Unmatamakirum. Srinivasa What smile was that? And these girls are so frightened. Nobody knows about what happened there. And Dharani Devi had no clue. Suddenly, Padmavati is not sleeping, she's not eating, she's lost weight. She's crying, constantly crying. Her eyes are swollen. She doesn't know what happened. She's very worried. She tells Akasha Raja. He also doesn't understand what is happening. So, as usual, they called a Vaidya. to see what was wrong with her. What do they know? Kapam, Viddam, Vadam, nothing else. So they did. Then he held her hand, Nadi, Kapam, Pata. He said, I think there's a new virus called Krishna Graham. I've heard that many girls have this these days. So it is some kind of thing like that. That's what I can say. Why? Because Arkum Enno Ariyalagadu Ammayi Thurudi Padadu. Our Andal Devi says, nobody can figure this out. Why? Like Meera Mata says, Eri main to prem diwani, meri dard na jaane koi. Nobody can understand my pain. Why? Because if someone says I have a headache, we can relate to it. Because it is in our experience, at some point in our life we have had headache. Or we are having headache constantly, I don't know. But we have, it is in our experience somehow. So we can relate to it. But if someone says, now Krishna Virat Kurchin, how can we relate? You never had that. We never pine for Bhagavan like that. We don't even know what it means to pine for anything or anybody other than ourselves. We know, we want something, it's always only about us. It's very difficult to even have such pure love for our own children or our own parents or the closest relation. How can we even cry for Bhagavan like that? So we can't understand. So here Padmavati Devi was, in the Viraha Vedana, nobody could understand, no one will know that Arku will know the Ariya Agat. And Dharani Devi didn't know what to do. And our Padmavati Devi, with her friends, she kept crying. Kangu vinnile melapu virittar pol megangal tennir pai venkatathen thirumalum pondane kannirgal mulai kuvattil tuli sora sorvenai pennir mai ittalikkum idu tamakkor perumaye vinnile melapu virittar pol megangal. Whatever she looks at a quail, she looks at a mile, a peacock or a cuckoo, or whomever she sends food. She says, go and tell Venkatesha, that I'm crying for him here. Please tell. She looks at the clouds and she says, the clouds generally they go to the hills and they pour rain there, is it not? They take the water from the ocean and they float towards hill and generally hill mele it rains a lot. So she says, you're going taking Samudra Jalam. Ocean has very less water. If you want to pour a lot of water on that Tirumala, come to me. Come to me. I'm crying so much. There's so much of water here with me. Take all my tears. Drink my tears. And take it to Tirumala. And you pour it on Venkatesha there. Usually when you pour ocean water, it will be very cold for him. No, it will be very hot. He will ask you, why is the water hot? You tell him that, Padmavati is crying for you. It is her tears. Please go and tell him. Because she's asking Bhagavan, idu unakku oru perumaya? Enna? Na aழுது en kannmai alinchadanu unakku oru perumaya? Is that what you want? Do you pride in telling that, my devotees cry for me so much that their, collyrium just flows off? You want to do that? She sends messengers, in every form. Venkatavasum seyum kuirgal kiligal megangal Venkatavasum seyum kuirgal kiligal megangal upakaram enakkollu akavedum ganal upakaram enakkollu akavedum ganal amadam vi damodaranidam samudiyate She sends these clouds as a messenger, and she is pining for Bhagavan here. Now, what is our Perumal doing there? He was literally, Varakti Adikapattar. Is it not? So he ran away from there. He left Garuda. He went back to his house there up in Tirumala. He is not eating. He is not sleeping. He has a mother in this avatara. She is called Vakula Malika. It was Yashoda Mata who came as Vakula Malika, and she was a cowherd lady. She was the one who used to take care of Perumal. Today we have all the puja. She was the one who used to feed Bhagavan, give him butter, milk and all, and she was only taking care of Perumal there. So she would talk with Perumal every day. And whenever Perumal comes back from hunting, he would always tell, how the hunt went today. He would describe everything. After this hunting came, and he came back home, he was just lying on his bed, not talking at all. So Vakula Malika, she went to Perumal and she said, Venkatesh, what happened to you? Why are you, not eating, not sleeping? Why are you lying down like this? You seem very worried. What is worrying you, you tell me. Whatever it is, you can tell your mother. I will take care of it. She said, Amma, I went for this hunting. Yeah, that is something went wrong there only, I know that. Tell me what. I went very long away, so I went down the hill. There is a garden there. I just saw that. And there is this Padmavati. She's Rajakumari, it seems. The Akasha Raja and Dharani Devi, she's her child, their child. She was playing there with her friends. I went there. I saw her. Okay, so that's all. I cannot forget her. But her friends now, Papa Rakshasis. They threw stones and rocks on me and they just drove me away. I don't know whether she would even remember me. We just had a glance. We hardly spoke a few words and I was already driven away. So I'm just thinking of it. And Vakula Malika said, don't worry. I will go tomorrow and I will see what can be done. Perumal said, Amma, what are you talking? You know who they are? He's the king, she's Rajakumari. We are all cowherds. How do you think Akaraja will accept me? She said, you don't worry about all that. But first let me see what that Padmavati thinks. We should know her mind now. You will want to marry her, she also should want to marry you, So tomorrow I'll figure that. How will you figure it out? How will you go there? They won't even let you inside the kingdom. Appa, the garden they were like so angry with me. How will they let you in? How do you intend getting permission? She said, very simple. I will become a Korati. I will become a soothsayer. See, everyone likes to know what may happen in future. Is it not? So if you have a soothsayer somewhere, you will invite them whatever reason. So she said, I will go like that. Perumal said, yes, that's a very good idea. You go and find what Padmavati thinks. And Perumal was there. And here, our Vakula Malika, she gets ready the next day morning. She becomes a soothsayer and she's going down to Tirumala or Alanelu. And then she wants to go there. And here, already Akasha Raja is very worried about what's happening and all. And he doesn't know if, and Dharani Devi is also very worried about her child. And Yetathina Pita Telu she's waiting for some solution for this. And at that time, Vakula Malika came. Immediately, Dharani Devi called her. She said, Amma, please tell what is wrong with my child. Nobody could find anything. You please see and if she'll be alright and all that. And our Vakula Malika looked at Padmavati. She said, oh, Padmavati is so beautiful. Venkatesha has a very good taste. Perfect, Venki, this is how we should do it. And she wanted our Padmavati for, we had daughter-in-law. Because when Bhagavan came as Krishna, Yashoda Mata had one complaint. She did not see Kalyanam of Bhagavan. Is it not? So she felt very bad. Bhagavan said, don't worry, in the next avatara, you will certainly see my Kalyanam. So that is why she is here, to see Venkatesha Kalyanam. So she wanted that, and she thought, I really hope this girl also is in love with my child, with my son. She wants. So she waited there and she looked and she said, something has happened. She has something in her mind. She's not telling you that. She's very afraid to reveal it to you. If you give her the permission, she may if she is let to reveal whatever she's thinking, it might reduce her burden and she might become better. So you ask her. Your mother, ask her. Dharani Devi said, no, that can't be true. She will say everything to me. And she looked at Padmavati. Padma, you tell me. Is there anything you want to tell me? And all the Sakhis were, what? Because they were very afraid. They will get scolded. We send you along to protect her. And you let some man enter and talk to her. So they were very frightened. And Padmavati said, Amma, yes, I want to tell you. The other day when we were playing, a Rajakumara came. Dharani Devi's heart was climbing with every word of Padmavati. And she said, and he came on a horse. He was so handsome. The moment I saw him, I don't know what went into me. I was not able to think about anybody or anything else other than him. My mind is totally with him. Dharani Devi said, what is wrong with you? You are a Rajakumari. You are telling me that, you have that Kula Dharma. You are telling me that you saw some man. It is Narasama Kekat. How can you say something like this? If Akasha Raja even listens to this, he will kill you, me and everybody. She was very worried. And our Vakula Malika, now she knows the heart of Padmavati. She immediately looked at Dharani Devi and she said, don't worry. Please don't worry, because certainly that Rajakumara whom she saw must not have been a normal human being. I can say that. Why? Because our Kuladevam lives on Tirumala, and that Kuladevam, many of them have seen that Kuladevam now and then. Maybe she had the darshan of Kuladevam only. It is only that Bhagavan whom she has seen. Dharani Devi could not believe that. And Akash Raja was also informed. He was also he said, how can she see Kuladeva? I have been going to temple doing puja every day. I haven't seen Kuladeva. How will she see Kuladeva? And he was only angry first. But Vakula Malika went back and she told Bhagavan, Venkateshu, perfect. She also actually. So don't worry. Now you should do something, because I told Akash Raja Dharani Devi that Bhagavan only came. But they don't seem to think that's possible. So now you have to initiate this, and with your sankalpa anything is possible. Poor that Padmavati, she's really crying. I thought that you were in a very bad state. When I saw her, I feel that you should hurry up. That poor girl, she's crying her eyes out. So please do something about it. Immediately Bhagavan, once he knew that everything was in place, he called Shukacharya. He did a smarana of Shukacharya. He came. He said, it's called Varapresham. He said, please go and tell Akasha Raja that because he is my devotee and very pleased with him, I want to marry his daughter. Please tell him that. And our Shukacharya goes to Akasha Raja. And Akasha Raja, imagine, Godohana Matram. Shukacharya would not stay in a place for more than the time it takes for one to milk a cow. That's how he is. He comes on his own accord to the court of Akasha Raja. Akasha Raja is thrilled. He gets up, he gives Agnyam, Padyam, Asana. Shukacharya is sitting. He accepts it. He is very relaxed. He doesn't seem to be in a hurry to go anywhere. And Akasha Raja is very happy. He does Swagatam to him. And he says, Mama Ishta Devam Kuladaivatam cha Sri Venkatesha Vaibhavam Kripaluhu Manyehi Tasyaiva Kripavashena Tvam Atrame Drishtipatam Tatosi. My Kuladevam Venkateshwara must be very pleased with me for I don't know what. But he must be very pleased with me, because that is why I have your darshan today. I can't believe that I am seeing you with my eyes. Shukacharya, how blessed I am, he says. And immediately Shukacharya said, you are not wrong. Aho kritartosi mahipate tvam. Don't worry, it is a fact that Bhagavan is very pleased with you, because it was that Venkateshwara who sent me to see you. Is it? Bhagavan sent you? What is the news? He said, see, you think Padmavati, you know pretty well she is not your daughter. She was not born to you. You found her, is it not? But because of the love you have for her, you forget who she is. She is not some normal girl, is it not? Padmaiva saksha tava kanyaka bhoot Padma eva. Sakshat Lakshmi Devi herself has come as your child. Ayonija sa swayamavirasi sahasrapatra kalu divya rupa. She revealed herself to you in 1,000-petal lotus. So how can you forget she is divine? So you are waiting to get her married. How did you even think that some local Rajakumara will come to marry her? How is it even possible? When she is Lakshmi, Bhagavan has to come, is it not? And if her mind goes to somebody, it has to be Bhagavan. Where else can it go? So it was Bhagavan who came as Rajakumara, and Bhagavan wants to marry her. So I am here to do this Varapresham. Akasha Raja, imagine his joy. He was so happy. He said, Dasyami, Dasyami. Kurte. Tambola Matinda. Indian mind murder. Instantly he did Nisharartham with Perumal. Because Nisharartham usually, according to the Shastras, we don't need the bride or the groom. It's only the Nichayam, is it not? So here, Shukacharya from the groom side and Akash Raja from the bride side, they exchanged Tambolam and Nisharartham was done. Immediately our Shukacharya went back to Bhagavan. Jaya Vijay Bhava Govinda, Jaya Vijay Bhava Govinda, Jaya Venkatesha Vaibhavam, Jaya Venkatesha Vaibhavam, Maharanyam Pujita Karana, Maharanyam Pujita Karana, Jaganeka Karana, Jaganiyaka, Karana, Jaganiyaka. Karya Siddhi. See, Akash has accepted. Not just the word, it is done. You can be ready for the marriage. And once it was decided, all the devas, they all came. And Venkatesha Thirukalyanam Utsavam started. And Bhagavan got ready for the marriage. Our Padmavati Tayar was so happy. On the day of marriage, she also got ready. She decked herself up. She herself is beauty. She is the beauty. And she added on her ornaments. And our Padmavati Tayar, Padmasanatil Padmavati Tayar Guruvir Chilkinda, Padmasanatil Padmavati Tayar Guruvir Chilkinda, Padmanabhayin Patakiraniya Pare Saathinda, Padmanabhayin Patakiraniya Pare Saathinda. Pani Grahanam of Padmavati Kaya with our Sri Venkatesha Perumal, and Bhagavan became Srinivasa. And we have the fortune of having the Smarana of Srinivasa Tirukalyanam. You know, every time, whatever Charitra we do, it is always only with Tirukalyanam. You know, Sita Kalyanam, Radha Kalyanam, Rukmini Kalyanam, Andal Kalyanam, Padmavati Kalyanam. That's how it is. Because we have to always remember it begins with Shri Patyana Bhagavan. Start with Shri, it always ends with Shri. You know, she is the one who always connects us to Bhagavan. So here, Bhagavan and our Taya, they were together as Bhagavan became this Kalyana Srinivasa. Shobhanam Lakshmi Sridharayo. Shobhanam Lakshmi Sridharayo. Shobhanam Lakshmi Sridharayo. Shobhanam Lakshmi Sridharayo. Kalyana Srinivasa are with the absolute kripa of our Guru Maharaj. We had this greatest fortune of listening to Venkatesha Vaibhavam during this Sri Aishwarya Perumal Vaibhavam, and such a fortune to conclude today with our Padmavati Kalyana. Kayena vacha manasendriyaiva jnanava pradesamava karomi yate sakalam parasme samarpaya. Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna